Hi, I'm Layth, and I had an accident almost 5 years ago. I was on a bike ride with some mates, and unfortunately I hit a lamppost when I came off the bike, which broke my spine. So I'm actually a T12 complete paraplegic now. And ever since that accident, I always wanted to finish that ride. There's a bit of me that just thinks it's sort of unfinished business. And for some reason, I just haven't got around to doing it. I've put weight on, I've got less fit and less motivated. So I spoke to Gym Possible, and they've said that they'll help me get back in shape this year in 2021. Lose a bit of weight, lose a bit of body fat, improve my fitness, and finish that ride that I started back in 2016. So this here is my first bit of exercise in about 10 months, ever since the lockdown started last year. And that's been suggested to me by Gym Possible, and the plan is, with some more advice and guidance from them, we're going to put together a package that's going to help me get fitter this year in preparation for the bike ride. What we're doing is a short push involving a 5-minute warm-up and then 2.5 minute sort of firmer pushes with a minute pause, and I'm going to repeat that 8 times, followed by a 5-minute warm down. Let's go. So that's the 5th one done, and now I have a 1 minute break, and go again with the next 2.5 minutes. So I've done 5, I've got 3 more to do, and then a 5-minute warm down. But I have to say, I'm enjoying this more than I thought I would. Never would have thought about going for a push, but being out in nature makes a real big difference. I love being out in nature, and this is obviously a beautiful place, and I know there's lots of wild deer around here and woodpeckers and owls, so it takes your mind off it when you're looking around, looking through the forests, looking in behind the hedges. So I am enjoying that aspect of being out in nature, and also that minute break in between every 2.5 minutes makes it a lot more bearable, because when the lactic acid starts building up in my arms, I know I've got to rest in 15 seconds, or I've got to rest in half a minute. So I'm enjoying this actually. Okay, next one. Let's go. Hey! And look, just across the finish line. Across the finish line. Whew. Well, as I predicted, it was hard, much harder at the end when you have the lactic burn. And obviously I haven't done exercise for 10 months, like I said before, so I did expect to have this burn in my arms. I did expect to be blowing, I did expect it to be challenging. What I didn't expect though was it to be as enjoyable as it has been, and that's just, I think, to be out in nature really. Breathing in that fresh air, looking for deer, it takes your mind off it a little bit. I think it was a perfect introduction back into exercise. So looking forward to doing it again, and I'm sure it's going to get harder from here on in. And it's this sort of exercise that is exactly what I need to do in order to increase my fitness to be able to do this challenge. It's back home now, jump in the shower, get in the car, and I'm going to go and revisit my accident site from back in 2016. The crash site is literally just a few metres to our right. In fact, it's that lamppost there with the blue round circular sign on it. So as we drive, I want to tell you what happened. I was cycling on this stretch, and as I cross over this ridge here, I lost control of the bike. But the balance is gone, and I'm launched off the bike and into this lamppost to my right here, which you can see is on the pavement and by a hedge and a wall. So I was very fortunate really that I was launched that way and not into the path of that car. You know, you can see cars go flying down to join the motorway at quite high speeds. So I collided with a lamppost, and my head collided with the dry stone wall next to it. My bicycle helmet cracked and had moss in it, so the bicycle helmet did its job of protecting my brain. And although my body was half on the pavement and half on the road, I was still not, I wasn't on the road to be hit by a car. So although it was a life-changing injury and one that's turned my world upside down, and although one could argue that I was very unlucky to fall off a push bike and break my back, when so many people fall off their push bikes day in, day out and just get, road burn or some grazes. Although you could argue that I was unlucky, I actually couldn't help but choose to think that I was a little bit lucky, because I didn't sustain any brain injury, which I could have. I could have, broken my back higher up as well. I could have broken my neck, which would have had further complications, or I could have actually been killed. And people do get killed on the roads, and I was actually grateful that I was still alive to be with my 3 young kids at the time, my wife. And I think life's all about how you look at it, and I have been blessed to have quite an optimistic view on life, which I had before the accident, and I'm trying really hard to keep a firm grip on that positivity, which is to say, well, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse. So I'm off now to the Gym Possible gym, where they've got a set of scales that you can just wheel onto. So I'm going to basically do some measurements really of where, the starting point. Literally weigh my chair first, get on the chair, roll on the scales, and simple maths will find out how heavy I am right now. We're also planning to do some body composition measurements, so using a set of calipers to do a few measurements of body fat at certain points in my body, and also some body measurements around my neck, my belly, for example, places that I typically would put weight on. So we'll have an idea of what I'm looking like. A bit nippy.
Alright, you're going up the hoodie?
Yeah.
Better turn that off. Hi, I'm Drew and I'm the founder of Gym Possible. I set up the gym after having a spinal cord injury myself. I wanted to find somewhere to exercise, but couldn't really find anywhere that had specialist equipment that was wheelchair accessible. So Gym Possible was born. The premise behind the gym is very simple: making exercise accessible. The idea behind that is to make it both physically and financially accessible for wheelchair users here in the Northeast. The premises for the gym is completely accessible, and so is all of the equipment. When Layth approached us to ask us about helping with his 50-mile bike ride challenge, well, we knew we could help. Personally, I think it's going to be really tough. Hand biking is a lot different to using a standard push bike. Your leg muscles are a lot stronger than your arms, and you can get a lot more torque, and it's a lot more efficient to ride a standard push bike. So yeah, using a hand bike's a lot tougher in that sense. And then on top of that, Layth's picked quite a hard route to do. It's going to be quite hilly and potentially quite exposed as well. So our plan is to help Layth with his cardio fitness. I think he also needs to work on his muscle endurance and his overall bike riding skills. Yeah, looking forward to seeing how it goes.
$94.8. So I've put weight on, guys. The chair was 11.4, which means I am now 83.4 kilograms, which is actually 2 kilograms heavier than I was last time I weighed myself a couple of months ago.
Do you want to remove your t-shirt? I'm just going to measure your belly around your belly button, so if you just relax.
Yep. Shall I lift my arms up or down?
That's fine like that, yeah. Relax. That's 109 centimetres.
Same through the two places I generally always put weight on. It's normally my belly first and then my neck's
45.5 centimetres.
So what's that in inches out of interest?
That is almost 18 inches.
Jesus. nearly 18 inches. Used to be like the shirt was 50.5 for you, know. I might take this off.
Action.
So what a day. Bit of exercise for the first time in a long time. Went to the accident site, which is always, evocative, and found out some measurements, body measurements. So I was really shocked to find out that my body fat measurements using the calipers is 32% body fat, which is really high. For someone my age, it classes me in the obese category. Not great. I've put 2 kilograms on since I last measured myself months ago. So I'm now 83.5 kilograms, which is overweight. And I was quite shocked at my belly and neck measurements. My neck measurement was 18 inches, which is more than it's ever been before. So it's really apparent to me that I've got to increase my cardiovascular fitness, get fitter for this challenge. I've got to lose quite a bit of weight, and I've got to lose quite a bit of body fat too. So 2021 is started. I've got an idea of where I am at a base level, and it's very clear to me what I need to do. So if anything, it's motivated me even more to try and get stuck into 2021 and be healthy and fitter for the challenge ahead.
With most of the country already under extreme measures, it's clear that we need to do more together. We must therefore go into a national lockdown.
Good pushing, mate. Keep going.